How you doing, guys? It's Ricky with David and Goliath Fitness and Outdoors, and I'm coming back at you with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be making limb lines, and I'm going to be showing you the traditional way to do it and also a newer way that I'm experimenting with. Alright, so this is my version of a limb line. Well, first thing I do is I take whatever type of line I want to use for the leader. In this case, I'm using 80-pound Cast King braided line. Take about 5 feet to make the leader. Right now I got a swivel, a barrel swivel, and I'm just going to tie the Palomar knot on one end of the braided line to the barrel swivel. Cut the tag end off. Palomar knot. And then on the other end, I'm gonna tie a double overhand knot to put the weight. Just take like a regular double overhand knot. With braided line, you want to run it through twice. Sometimes it doesn't cinch down as tight as monofilament does. And then I'm going to make another knot for the hook. So I go down probably like 12 inches. Take another, say about 8 to 12 inches, and just tie another double overhand knot. Tighten it down, pull it tight. And so there we go. We have a barrel swivel on one end. This is what we're gonna connect to the main line. A knot for the hook and a place for the weight. I got a 4-ounce bank sinker. Just gonna take that knot that I got on the bottom and whoop, run it through just like that. And I got 6/0 Team Catfish octopus circle hooks. That's my hook of choice today. So they got the eye of the hook is bent back at an angle like that. Just run it straight through. Run that loop straight through. Bring the hook through it, and then bam. So here is the full leader line that's gonna be in the water. Now what I'm gonna do is I got some string, just regular white string, and I'm gonna tie a clinch knot to the other side of the swivel. The reason I'm tying the leader line in this case is because one, it is going to be stronger than the fishing line that I have, but I know catfish normally aren't hook shy, but this white line is big and bright and easy to see for anything that is going to approach it. And so I just don't like having a big white piece of string with a hook tied to it. So I got this blue line right here. Feel like it'll be harder to detect, but it's still pretty strong. Normally with limb lines, you're targeting bigger fish, and so sometimes you use bigger bait and just let it sit overnight. And so I'm going to be throwing this. I'm going to be throwing this into the water. So, all right, I'm back. My line got tangled up a little bit, but I got it back. So right now I don't have any cut bait or live bait, so I'm just going to use night crawlers. Yes, you can put night crawlers on a circle hook. You just don't put it on the same way that you do it on like a J hook or something. Just gotta keep poking it. Put like 2 or 3. Yeah, I put 3. Like I said, the idea behind limb lines is a lot of times you want to catch bigger fish, and so you leave it out overnight with a bigger piece of bait. Hopefully a big fish takes the bait. But I like to call them like the trot line for bank fishermen or something. It's an alternative to a trot line for bank fishermen. Here you go, big ugly ball, a worm, and I'm gonna throw it out into the water. All right, just another tip when you're making these leaders is you want to make sure when you tie your little knot to put the hook on that it doesn't come in contact with the swivel. Sometimes if you say you tie it up here and your hook can make contact with the swivel, it'll end up getting caught up on the swivel. So the whole time you're thinking you're fishing, you're really stuck. So just make sure when you drop down far enough so that the hook cannot contact the swivel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie the ropes to my wrist. Then I'm going to coil it up in a way that it won't get tangled up when I throw it. I'm gonna coil it up all the way down to the swivel. Then I'm gonna grab the sinker. I got the sinker in my hand. Oh, don't get tangled up. Grab the sinker and throw it into the water as far as I can. Alright, so I threw it. Like I said, this is the traditional way to make a limb line. So you want to find a nice strong tree limb to tie it to. You can use whatever knot you prefer. To tie it to the tree limb. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you have confidence in your knot tying ability and that the knot doesn't come off. It's a bit loose, but if a fish grabs it and takes off with it, it'll give him time to get that hook further in his mouth, and it'll be caught. And the tree, the tree isn't gonna go anywhere. So it's just gonna fight and fight on that. And when you come back, you should have a fish. All right, so this is the more modern way to doing limb lines. They call it bank pole fishing. So I got a piece of PVC pipe. It's 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and I cut it at about 5 feet or so. And so this time I'm going to, I already cut a notch right here, and I'm going to try to put the string in the notch so it doesn't come off the end, and just tie a knot. For a little extra security, I'm going to wrap it a few times. Tighten it down as much as I can. And now we have the string tied to the bank pole. Let me stretch this out. So with the bank pole, you take and shove it into the bank as far as you can. I'm gonna do the same thing. It's the same idea. I wanna coil it up. All the way to the swivel. Don't tangle up on me. Got the sinker in my hand. I'm just gonna throw it as far as I can. Hey, just a disclaimer, folks. If you're over the age of like 35, make sure you warm up and stretch before you try to throw the weight into the water, because I don't want you blaming me because you can't work the next day. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that in my life. Make sure. All right, it looked like something was messing with this one. Look at the string. I just want to see it in action. All right, so right now I got 3 lines out. Got the bank pole right here, and I got the limb line right here. It's kind of like an old school versus new school type of thing.
The next day.
All right, I came back out here to check it. I left it out overnight, and overnight the water came up and the temperature has dropped. But on this first one, I did have a fish. It's a nice size blue cat. Should I keep him or throw him back? That is the question.
Keep him.
Alright, we decided to let him go because I don't feel like cleaning fish today. So we're gonna spare him. I guess he's all right. All right, this was the bait I had. There's a piece of catfish there's a small catfish that I caught, and I filleted it up and used it as bait. And it worked. Catfish do eat catfish. And right now, I'm just getting my tackle back. This line tangled up, so I'm gonna just get my tackle back, and I'm gonna pick up the pole and the string. So I want you to never leave trash and junk in your fishing spot. It's bad for the environment, and it's bad for other people trying to come fish after you. So yeah, basically when you finish with your limb lines or your trout lines or whatever type of lines that you leave overnight or whatever, just make sure you dispose of it. Don't leave it in the water. Alright, let me go ahead and check the next one. Feel like it might have something on it or it's stuck. Nah, it's light. Let's check this one. Nothing. Alright, last one. One more. Got one more. It's a channel. You got spots. But this was the limb line. Come
How
on.
to pick it up?
Like that. You release him.
Well, I can't.
Watch that spiky thing. Put the other hand right here. No. You gotta put him, you gotta grab him and put him more in the water. Uh-oh.
Go, my brother.
He's stuck. You got him stuck. So look.
Go! Swim!
You're getting there. Alright, you got it. You made it. How you feel?
I feel horrible. I'm hungry.
Look at what I gotta go through to get this pole out the water. Guess I should have wore boots. Come on, gotcha.
By the way, he didn't have boots.
Got it out. Alright, so I had 3 lines out. I had 3 bank poles and 1 limb line. And we caught 2 fish. 2 out of 4 fish ain't bad, especially if you're just leaving it overnight. So just imagine having like 12 limb lines out, and then you come back and check them. You might have 6 fish, and you have the potential to catch really big fish like that, just depending on what bait you use. I think that's the biggest thing. I didn't have a good bait, but I still caught 2 decent sized fish. And I plan on making more videos with limb lines, just so you guys can see it in action. But other than that, we're done. I hope you enjoyed the video, and my little buddy might wants to say something to you.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe, little boy.
Go!